The tussle at the top of the table in the title race between Manchester City and Arsenal. The huge game in the battle to see who will come out on top in the Premier League this season. And here is the Etihad pitch, split into squares. These are zones of control. So if we've got a dark blue zone, this is an area of pitch that the possession was pretty balanced. It was almost 50-50. A red zone represents where Arsenal would have had 55% or more. A sky blue zone where City would have dominated the ball. City attacking this way. This is Donnarumma in goal, attacking this way. And you can see this central area of the pitch completely dominated by the sky blue of Manchester City. Also this area here, Semenya in attack, and also on this left-hand side where Jeremy Doku was trying to isolate and go one-on-one against Mosquera with the support of O'Reilly behind him. So City dominating, Jamie, this central area. How key to all that were the two men in midfield for them, Rodri and Bernardo Silva?
Well, I think Rodri and Bernardo Silva gave one of the greatest performances as a pair I've probably seen in the Premier League, and there's been some great midfielders who we highlighted last week, and maybe I should do that list again on the back of what we saw at the weekend. But for me, the game was won in midfield. And I just want to look at both teams' setups without the ball, because there's a lot of talk today about how sort of adventurous or how on the front foot Arsenal were. Now, they were without the ball. Now, I just want to look at what happened initially. Now, we talk about a man-to-man press all over the pitch. I want to highlight Rodri and Silva. Got Declan Rice and Odegaard coming right up the backside so they can't get that ball into the players there. So, really aggressive. Man for man on this back line. We highlighted this with Arsenal a few weeks ago. Actually, they didn't go long enough at times into their strikers, but City are not shy in doing that. And straight away, it's into Haaland, and before you know it, first minute or so in the game, stops there.
But I think
so
also,
they're deeper.
Also, they're the best players are problem solvers.
Yeah.
You know, it's been humble enough to go, actually, they've got us here early on. Physically, we're maybe not up to them, but mentally they've gone, actually, we'll change our positions. We'll see if you can then handle. And the best players do that.
And you're absolutely spot on. And what they've done is they've seen a problem. We're going to give you a problem now. But what I talk about, I keep talking about courage without the ball. It's easy to have courage without the ball. The courage to go and get the ball on your 6-yard box off your goalkeeper in a game of this magnitude, absolutely outstanding. So what happens then is Silva and Rodri end up in your back four. They're your centre-backs now, in your back four. They take the ball. So we've seen them lose it early on with Silva, with Declan Rice. It doesn't stop them getting it again, does it? That's real courage. Getting on the ball and being brave, and then playing through that press of Arsenal.
So Ryan Cherki was the scorer of the first goal, and he had a moment 20 seconds before he actually scored in a very similar position. So we've set it up. We've got 20 seconds before he scored and the moment he actually scored on the right-hand side. So what are the key differences here, Jamie?
Well, we're just going to let it run. On the one that he misses, and then see the one that he scores, and then we're going to analyse the differences and what happened. And this all happened really in the same action. So you see Ryan Cherki there, similar position. Gabriel comes across, and Arsenal clear the ball. And then we're going to look on this side, and this is where the goal is. It's all part of the same sequence, but it's very similar. So he has one opportunity, they stop him. This time, they don't. Now, Gabriel should do a lot better for a player of that level. But I want to look at the role of the midfield players again. Bernardo Silva skipping past Declan Rice. Bernardo Silva involved again. Fantastic. Now he slips it into Cherki. Now you've got 5 players around him in this space. But the big difference is Zubimendi is here in that role, a little bit deeper. And as we run it on, he comes across and just shadows him out. But you just watch Zubimendi now. So he's gone from one side really deep on the defender's toes. He now thinks, or knows, it's my job as well to fill these half spaces here. So this time he's with Nico O'Reilly. They can't get the ball in here. The ball comes across quickly, and he can't get over. So now you've got a situation where we stop it. Now as he gets the ball, it's now 4 players. Now, that is still a very difficult proposition for any player in world football. But 1 player less, slightly more space. Zubimendi has gone one side. He can't get across the other. Now he's just got that little bit more space that he needs. Cherki here in this position, but this is all about an absolute magician who's been an absolute revelation in our league team.
Yeah, he's a superstar, and this is off the cuff. This is just him freewheeling almost with his natural talent that he's got. And look, there's the tiniest of feints to the right as he flicks it with the outside of his left foot, just there as he flicks. The flick's perfect. They know they can't tackle him when they're in the area, and he's totally in control, and that's when you know you've got a Maverick superstar, and you celebrate like a Maverick.
Yeah. So now they get the goal. They think everything's hunky-dory. Before you know it, we're at the other end. And I just wanted to look at this, and I thought Kai Havertz was absolutely fantastic. Look at Kai Havertz's body position now. The ball hasn't even left Nunez's hands, and he's already on his way. You're talking about the smallest details here in terms of trying to gain an advantage.
Well, I think also I think he knows what he's doing. He's trying to position himself, so he's slightly hidden behind Kursanov and Donnarumma. This is purely him trying to be an opportunist in terms of taking a chance here, but just being hidden to give him an extra split second to go and chase that down.
What I wanted to mention was because he was so alive, it made me think, because you think of the details these managers go into. We think we're doing detail on Monday Night Football, probably nothing like what Pep Guardiola and Mikel Arteta are going to. So when I saw the fact he'd gone so quickly when the ball was still in his hands, I'm thinking, is that something they spotted, that Nunez goes back to the goalkeeper? So I think I'd found something clever. But would you believe Nunez's throw-ins this season, 177, he's gone back to the goalkeeper once.
Do you think he's going to do it again?
He will never do that again, I can assure you. But brilliant from Kai Havertz, and again it goes back to the press from Arsenal was fantastic in that first half, and it's the pressing that gets them a goal and gets them back into the game. You see it from this angle as well. Listen, it's a huge mistake of a game at this level, but brilliant from Havertz, who I think throughout the game played a huge part in it, and we'll get to that shortly.
Yeah.
The Premier League title race was rocked by a dramatic result as Manchester City F.C. edged past Arsenal F.C. 2-1 in a high-stakes clash. It was a game full of intensity, fine margins, and decisive moments that could ultimately shape the destiny of the title. Jamie Carragher was quick to break down the key moments, highlighting how City's experience in big games once again proved crucial. From their composure under pressure to their clinical finishing, he pointed out the small details that made the biggest difference on the night. For Arsenal, it was a performance filled with promise but lacking that cutting edge when it mattered most. Carragher emphasized that in matches of this magnitude, missed chances can be costly, and that's exactly what allowed City to take control and punish them. Defensively, Arsenal showed moments of vulnerability that City were quick to exploit. Carragher noted that against a side with so much attacking quality, even the slightest lapse in concentration can be punished, and that proved to be the difference in such a tightly contested encounter. As the title race heats up, this result adds even more pressure and intrigue. With momentum now shifting, the big question remains, can Arsenal bounce back? Or will Manchester City use this victory as a launchpad to take control of the Premier League race?